Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars, Days of Ruin, Tiny Wars replay. Small on top left side as the red Brenner, we got Mangs. Small on the bottom right side as the blue Brenner, we got PeePeePooPoo. Mangs is a YouTube content creator who mostly focuses on Fire Emblem as well as Advanced Wars by web, but he has casted a little bit of Advanced Wars, Tiny Wars, Days of Ruin, Tiny Wars replays as well. So this replay was submitted to me from via email for me to take a look at it. So I'm go ahead and shall do it. Generally, I try to avoid mirror matchups because mirror matchups tend to make stuff a little bit more stale. But since the request is submitted to me as a request, I have no problems doing a mirror matchup. So while the autoplay is going on, I'll talk about the map. This is a dual-base map of a neutral airport. The neutral airport is somewhat in the middle of the map. Easy to project onto the center with probably some battle copters. There's also a radar station in the middle, but this is not Fog of War, so it doesn't mean much other than it has 3 stars of defense rather than 2 stars of the standard city. Missile silo platforms also have 2 stars, unlike Advanced Wars by Web, which is more of the traditional Advanced Wars, of course. Of course, this initial capture city phase, nothing too significant. Then we do have the first bike pulled up by blue. Going to maybe push up north to get these handful of cities down up there. Red has now pulled out 2 bikes to push to probably in either direction. Very nice. Couple more bikes there by blue. Looks like Blue's going to be very happy with his bikes. Red, let's see, has 7,000 credits, so probably another bike or 2. Double infantry, going to save a little bit of funding, maybe eyeing for a tank or 2 next turn. Let's see, next turn he will have 9,000 comes, so it'll be at 1,300. Doesn't have the airport, so no battlecopter. 1,300 sounds like at least a medium or light tank, not a medium tank. Can go for a medium tank. Those are 12,000 Days of Ruin, if I remember correctly. I always forget the exact amounts. Yep, medium tank is 1,200, so he does have enough for that, but that'll be a base skip and probably a little bit too extreme. Blue has to pull out an artillery piece, while Red has pulled out a tank and recon. He may just CO his tank and push it down south or into the middle, either those directions. Recon up here is just probably I to just interrupt some captures and bully around the infantry. Artillery in the region, Recon can get some good damage to the artillery, but also vice versa. All depends who can get the first shot off first, likely the Recon. Tank first before any, or artillery before any tank is also relatively interesting. Maybe trying to lock down the bridgeheads. Blue has a tank there, probably going to be CO'd and probably going to move over here to engage the Brenner tank. Battlecopter pulling the field, another possible target for the CO unit. Though Brenner is defensive CO and pushes up north as well. I forgot to mention as well what Brenner, the nerf Brenner provides in this game. Let's just go ahead and quickly do that. He is slightly nerfed from the cartridge version, and he only has 1 level CO upgrade zone here at the full 60, so you won't get any additional CO zone. Additionally, his aura only affects direct units, does not get the inherent +10/+10 for all units like other COs usually get. And of course, superpower does provide +3 healing. Admittedly, I have sort of started casting this replay, then I realized I forgot to turn everything on, like I had the wrong settings on, so it was the same format I would probably cast Age of Mythology, which is not the right format for that, where my avatar would be a little bit more in the center. You have now the battlecopter and tank pushing up north. Artillery could also push forward to help them out. Quite a sizable force there. We've got the anti-air there to help counter. Brenner's command tank down here, so he's going to get some free damage there. A little bit of power charge now for blue, nothing too significant at the moment. Good strikes there. And do have another blue artillery there. So it looks like blue's like enjoying his artillery pieces. Brenner could probably get some good damage there on some of these bikes. Probably take out this bike here. which he does. Very nice. Finishes it off. A good probably follow-up is to get some extra energy and engage this spike here, which he does not. He decides to go with capture. I think it'd be better to get the strike on the bike, not only get some power charge, also get some damage done. He does finish up, followed up with a tank attack onto the spike here, won't wipe it out, and gets no power charge from it. Power charge is relatively important because you want to get your powers going. Granted, Brenner's superpower is not super powerful, providing the health across everybody, but the extra global defense for a turn is quite good. Get a good strike there. Gains a good power charge at 12. Gets a good strike there. 19 now. Artillery piece zoning out the HQ. Battlecopter in nearby support as well, but not in range of the anti-air. Gets an interrupt there. Another battlecopter pulled up by blue. Very nice. So maybe another anti-air would be half bad. Blue still has his artillery piece there. Maybe it's trying to lock down the bridgehead. Could deploy it right there and get some good coverage in the region. Anti-air falls back. We do have an anti-tank. Anti-tanks are pretty expensive, costing 1100. And that is a war tank, which costs also 1600. He has 2000 funds remaining, so I'm going to follow up with another infantry unit here. But we've got this sizable assault pushway forward, artillery piece ready to engage the HQ. Battlecopter ready for fire support as well, but the anti-air can engage the battlecopter. Anti-tank can, of course, engage everything. And of course, a war tank can put holes in pretty much everything barring the battlecopter. So this is quite a reaction for this force. This is actually not a sizable force. This is an extreme reaction, honestly. Anti-tanks are expensive. They're very nice, but expensive and slow. So they're very good defense, which is exactly what he needs here. But I think the war tank may be overdone. A medium tank may be all he needs. So that's some units move down here. We got some extra power charge here, but looks like going to push down here. Does get good kill, up to 15 energy. Let's capture progress. Next turn he can capture on up. Gets a good strike there. More energy progress for red. And the artillery gets a good strike there. Pretty good shot there by the bike. Definitely cost effective. He will likely lose the bike though. 7,000. Oh, it's 3 damage on 11,000 units, so it's at least 3,000 damage, worth more than bike. So if you lose the bike entirely after this, cost-effective engagement, you lose out to spend money on repairs. Excuse me. Anti-tanks do damage versus battlecopters. It's not exactly a good trade for either, it feels like, in general. But if this guy wounded here, a full health battlecopter could get some good damage here. Not a good trade for either, so it's neither a counter nor soft counter to each other, just a possibility to fight like that. But seeing how the battlecopter is 9,000, that's 11,000. 2 damage on the anti-tank is probably worth it in the end. Artillery push T-piece pushing forward. Another artillery piece there. Blues like his artillery pieces. Gets a strike there as well as there. Maybe engagement. Gain some power charge, 35 energy, but no CO expansion. But it does get him closer to his CO power. Now it's Red's turn. It's probably time for me to go by turn action. Take a look at what's going on. Anti-air did not one-shot the battlecopter. 80 out of 84. Usually I'm just so used to anti-air just nuking battlecopters at any chance to get, but it looks like that's not the case. Got 2 health remaining, so low luck roll. Great shot there onto the command tank. War tank takes on the bike. Not necessarily a great target for it, but it's probably the best it could do. It does get 1 level of veterancy, gain plus 5% firepower, which can make him do a serious damage here. Finish off the 2 health infantry unit there, and the recon gets a great shot onto the artillery piece, knocking it half health. Artillery pieces do cost 6,000, so that did 3,000 damage for 4,000 units. And red has deployed a Duster. Dusters are quite expensive. And there are 2 battlecopters here to engage, plus this one here. Nothing too significant. But that is quite an investment. It's still useful versus strafing infantry, that's for sure. Good hit there. Those command tanks a little bit exposed now, though the Duster's nearby, so he may or may not go for it. You can always join the command tank if it takes a hit. Red's power charge at 35 energy. The piece gets good strike on that infantry. Good strike on the recon. Takes out that unit there. Nukes his own battlecopter. Double artillery there. May want to get double infantry for a block, and at least be a good front line. Tank moving up as well as a battlecopter, so Blue's still pushing pressure over here. Both a war tank and an anti-tank. The anti-tank is going to get pretty well repaired. This command tank could not escape. Game strike here. He was trying to knock it out, just unsuccessful. Now the command tank is locked down there and probably get knocked out next turn. Duster deployed up by Blue, anti-air, and infantry. Supply on everything. Anti-tank has 8 health. Good damage on the command tank. Brenner is very durable, now plus 57 defense. Brenner's command tank pushes way forward, which will allow his anti-air to get a boosted strike. Still to look at the one shot there. Down to 9 health, so good damage there. Recon falls back, decides not to try his chance there. I wonder. 1 out of 9, not great. War tank should nuke something. Goes to artillery piece. Looks like this property will be flipped. Red right now has 17,000 versus 18,000, so that is going to be quite nice for Blue. Duster finished off the battlecopter, getting Veterancy 1 as well at it. Command tank could charge forward and do something. Blue's turn. Blue's has 54 energy remaining. I wonder. Oh wait. Good strike there, 58. This can't reach to this infantry unit. I'm trying to see, is there any way for them to squeeze out 2 more energy? Don't see how. Oh, takes a shot there, so that CO unit will go down next turn. Blue's Duster went north, very far north. It may be better just to go around here. I think that's too far north. Right here can give him projection both left and right. Now going to project left. Tank, tank. That was the anti-tank, finish that off. War tank actually falls back. While for the anti-air to push forward. Good strike there. Did not get any injury from that one. Duster does get a good strike there. Red's Duster now has range of Blue's Duster, but of course does have 30% defense. Infantry, battlecopter. I don't think there's any way for Red's command tank to be sniped. Another command tank. Interrupts the capture. Right now, Blue's ahead by 3,000 income, a sizable amount. Missile. I disagree with that. Honestly, for me, I have more of a bias towards playing with Dusters if you want to take out battlecopters than missiles. Dusters are just good against battlecopters and good against infantry. I don't know why he went for a missile. Missiles do have increased range. They do have up to 6 tower range in Days of Ruin. But I believe that's the same as the cartridge, right? I think a dual strike increased the range to 6, if I'm not mistaken. While in 2, they had 5 range. war tank pushing down south. Red now has enough for his CO power. He could try closing out next turn, but the missile is in range. It will force a base skip, but could pull a more powerful asset on his own airport. Lots of infantry units here. I'm just putting the autoplay. He can either engage with the anti-air on that duster or nuke it with the missile. Or one... Nope, he does not finish off there. That's actually... not finishing off. It may be a bad idea because there's a superpower here, which means global healing for 3 health. That does will be up to 4 health and should be able to deal for 5 health dusters with the support of the CO power. I disagree leaving it at 1 health. It has to be finished off. I thought missiles were live. Oh, it's because Brenner's CO power is or zone, isn't it? 92. Nope. And left. Oops, does finish off the infantry unit there. I was going to take a look at health, but I clicked the wrong button. Oh well. Let's see, battlecopter, artillery piece putting us up north. Brenner's CO power could be popped this turn. I think it would be a good idea. Lots of wounded stuff to get healed on up. What will it do? It'll be this first action, right? Going for getting a bit of damage on his units first. That's a good idea. Good shot there. Took 3 damage. Got some good healing there. Battlecopter is at full health. Duster does do 20 damage. Remember, there's also that CO unit, so that CO unit should be targeted first. That's probably not a good move. He probably should have... Oops. That was 72 damage. Probably should have nuked the CO unit first, because that's a lot of extra defense being applied. I'm assuming he's going to use the battlecopter to engage it. Didn't finish off there. The Sanitier could finish it off. Does. So that means this tank could have gone down, but did not because of that mistake. Good strike there by the Duster. I would have probably attacked the 5 health Duster if he would have gone back. There. I probably would have done that shot. Capturing. Captured. Good strike there. Right now, Red does have a sizable advantage. Going to be around 108,000 this turn, while his opponent will have 69 plus the 18,000. Yep, right now he's around 90,000 himself versus 108, so he's down by a full turn, looks like. CO's the artillery piece, very nice. Finish off the infantry unit there. Duster on Duster violence. Good strike there on the battlecopter. Remember as well, there's global defense now active. Everything that's not the anti-tank can see no additional defense on indirect, just only direct units. Additionally as well, this artillery piece does only get the CO bonuses, or the Veterans 3 bonuses. No firepower onto the artillery piece because it's direct, not indirect. Anti-air tank. We do now have, of course, this war tank push forward, has 4 ammo at the moment. While I nuke the anti-air. CO tank push way forward. There's 10 energy. Anti-air falling back up north. Needs some not only health but also ammo. Red has a sizable death bowl in the center. Strikes another artillery piece, but these artillery pieces should be able to keep these units at bay. And actually, Red's actually had this entire area open. Blue could try charging forward with the infantry, try to capture some properties. Red's ahead by 1,000 income at the moment. We'll talk to 2 health duster. APC, is that going to be for a temporary airport? Some of these units are actually getting a bit low in ammo, so it could be useful for resupplies. But I think there's going to be a temporary airport pulled out somewhere. Good energy there, that's 32. Tank. This airport could be blocked, though we do have the missile in range. Vet 3 war tank forward with a anti-tank. Quite a sizable force there. I wonder if any way blue could probably squeeze out a bomber next turn. Doesn't look like it. He has to pay some repairs and won't be able to see any merges anytime soon. So no possible bomber spawn, ambush spawn. That wouldn't be technically ambush spawn. Plus it's also a battle or anti-air there, so it wouldn't go entirely bad for Brenner. But that battlecopter is now in range of the missile. Maybe an oversight there. Don't need to give the missile actual get some work done. Claims 2 kills this game, so it has paid for itself. Real takes being used as a wall, anti-tank there, mech. And nice little block there. It will force the war tank to withdraw so the anti-air can push forward. There's no way around that. His duster is gone, right? Yeah, I think his duster's fully gone. So great placement by duster there. It forces the war tank to withdraw. Blocks the airport with his command tank. Anti-tank in range. Blue has no aircraft to strike the command tank there. It's actually getting pretty far behind there. 80,000 versus going to be 120,000. So this blue's down by 40,000. And red has now 3,000 income lead. A number of battlecopters over here, as well as a tank to engage the anti-air. Another duster. I think the duster's actually not a good choice. His opponent has no aircraft at the moment. And he's currently body blocking the airport as well. There's a good strikes up north. Infantry gets a good strike there in the anti-tank. Command tank gets hit, merged. Brings artillery piece forward. Tank, artillery. Yeah, I don't know how he'll force back Red's army. This war tank can take out the infantry unit, but the anti-tank's in the way. So the war tank's going to be stuck in traffic now. The unit up there is also a good spot for it. Infantry unit does not finish it off. Takes out that one. Loads up the APC. No, it's actually been a very long time since the last seen that in Days of Ruin. Good hit there with the anti-air. Blue does have a mech here. Blue's CO unit has 41 energy, red has 53. Possibly red's command tank going down here. Got a mech and a 5 health artillery. And a tank. Takes out that unit there. Will it be the mech or tank to engage? 32. 32. Mechs have the same firepower as tanks. Finish off the infantry unit there. Artillery piece pushed way forward. It takes no shot on the command tank. Does get a shot there on the anti-tank. Once it displays it, it sees it as a higher threat. And looks like red may get superpower next turn, which will give that anti-tank more health. Anti-air tank. Where did Red Dusters go? Didn't he have a Duster on the field? Did the missile take it out? Was I not paying attention to that? I may have not been paying attention to that. It's Veteran C3. Oh, blue now has a superpower available. Red has superpower. There's some health. Takes a good strike there on the missile. Blue's command artillery piece, the non-range of anything, so him popping superpower is not a huge issue, just a matter of when. And we've got multiple properties up north being captured. 5, of course 12, 10, and 11. So one possible capture next turn, or 2 with this one. When will he pop his superpower? Will it be immediate, or will he take a couple hits first? Immediate. Missile gets a good shot there. Body blocks that. Gets a good shot there on the battlecopter. Artillery in a good defense position. Mech takes out that unit there. Infantry gets a good hit there on the artillery, or anti-tank. Anti-tank goes down to the infantry. Tank hits the anti-air. Anti-air goes down. Interrupts that capture. Put some damage on that one. Anti-tank pushes up north. Anti-air. Anti-tank. And blue is now pulled, has evened out. It's now back down to day-to-day funds. Red's war tank's almost out of ammo. 2 ammo remaining. Doesn't break through there. Does break through there. Now the war tank push forward. Resupplies the war tank. Command tank push way forward. Great shot there. He does have superpower still lingering around. And red has split up bomber. He probably needs to get out Duster if possible. Chance of him getting a fighter out is not likely. He does have anti-air in the field, which may or may not be enough. The missile's also still existing. Missile's also at 8 health. Bomber is in striking range of it. Easy. And there's no way to block both these mountains. Really gets a good strike there on the command tank. Good max shot there. Good hit there on the infantry. Bike. Does kill off that one. This one has 6, so not going to capture this turn. 6. This one will capture next turn. Should attack this one. This will needs to further interrupt this capture. Say that was a bad call there. He wasn't counting. Merge there. Anti-tank next to the war tank. Anti-air push way forward. Command artillery push way forward. Battlecopter. I disagree with that. I think he should have got a Duster to engage the waterway the bomber. Missile backs off a little bit there. Out of range the bomber. So the bomber will have to enter the missile's range and probably get one-shotted. It is a Vet-3 missile launcher. Mech tank. Oh, field connect server reconnect. Don't think that does anything for the replay. Anti-tank takes a nasty shot there. Bomber hitting up north. Command tank falls back for red. Rig resupplies. War tank gets a good shot onto the anti-air, of course. Got a medium tank here, battlecopter, tank, and bike. Good strike there on the bike. Anti-tank gets a good strike there. Finish off that one unit. Right now, red is head by a sizable amount, 7,000. Good strike there. Good strike there. Anti-tank pins it in. Really pins it in. Mech may want to move right there. Because right now this tank can engage the artillery piece. So, and the command artillery piece would be out of range, well the anti-tank would be. Infantry. Base skips once. Blue's day-to-day income is really not good. He's at 100,000 value on the field versus 128 at the moment. Bomber gets an excellent shot there. Finish off the Vet 3 tank. Bike goes down there. Now this opportunity for Blue to pull out Bike and charge forward to these properties. Anti-air could charge forward and engage that Bike. He is just sending his air units to death by charging into the missile like this. He's not been paying attention to this missile. So the battlecraft gets in range of the missile. This missile has gotten far too much damage, and there's no fog of war there, so it's most time it's a bit more of carelessness by Red why that missile's been doing so well. This is one prime example. He's trying to make sure the missile doesn't move up north towards a bomber. Commander tank does get a good shot there. Finish off the regular tank. Good shot there. Missile takes out the battlecopter easy. That one goes down. Good shot there. Many good hits. Takes out that unit there. Anti-tank falls back a little bit there. Battlecopter interrupts the capture. Has 4 capture progress remaining. Oh, double base skips again. Duster's nice and all. I think he'll try and get that to deal with the bomber. He has a 7 health infantry, which could get up to 9 health next turn. Won't improve his capture rate though. Bomber gets direct hit there. Duster's in range of the bomber. And that bomber has gotten some good work done. I don't think it's been cost effective enough. Battlecopters fall back to the airport. Good strike there. Another war tank deployed by Red. Is now Blue's turn. He can move his command artillery piece up there to get a lot of CO power. He does. Duster gets a great shot there in the bomber. Did another Dust... Granted, I'm observing. I didn't realize he moved his Duster in the range of the missile, but he should have, because he has to be careful with this thing, because how many times has he lost a unit to this missile? It's like 5 or 6 kills. That missile... How much value has it gotten? It's like 3 battlecopters, 2 Dusters. That's like 40,000 funds. That literally is probably what made it so even. He threw away too many air units to a missile. Battlecopter there, very nice. And since he lost his Duster, he has no counter to his opponent's Duster. Next turn, Blue will likely get his CO power. I don't think that command artillery piece will be knocked out. Bomber falls. Not only the battlecopter moved forward into it, there's also now a bomber in range. Though the Duster can pick off one of those units, the missile can pick off the other. Another Duster. How long will it take for this Duster to be blown up by the missile. Let's see right now. Blue has a lot less income than red. There goes the bomber. Goes with the infantry unit. I think it would... no, it's probably a good idea not to have the Duster go into range of the Duster. Even though having the Duster go right here, engage and take out the Battlecopter will result in the Duster push forward, get a hit, and then it gets shot down by the missile. Actually, it probably would have been better to take out the 4 health Duster, or the 4 health Battlecopter. Battlecopter can do it, and now there's a bait Battlecopter there. And keeping Duster alive is not necessarily half bad, though Battlecopters may be a little better dealing with these medium tanks. Duster's of course good against strafing infantry. No, not gonna lie about that. Do not send this Duster to hit that Battlecopter. It is clearly a trap. You know how lethal this missile is. Do you need to be reminded how lethal this missile is? The answer is yes. While it's fine to sack an anti-air into a Battlecopter, because anti-airs are cheaper than Battlecopters, it is not fine to sack a Duster into a Battlecopter, because Dusters are also more expensive than Battlecopters. 1,300 versus 900. You can see here, anti-airs are 7,000. Well, blue pop is superpowered. There's actually a good number of wounded units, so it may be good. And plus, just I suppose hitting an infantry unit could be a possibility, but probably better just to pop the superpower. Let's see. Takes it out with a missile. Again. Pops it now, rather immediately. Didn't take any damage there. Though I don't think he lost out any firepower benefits because everything he did fired within the CO zone. Great hits there. Red is starting to disintegrate pretty badly. He's at 71,000 versus 122,000. There's no dust on the field. Okay, good. Stays out of range of the missile for once. War tank now push way forward, but there's actually quite a bit of stuff there, including anti-tank. The anti-tank could just move forward one tile and then put the artilleries behind it. It'll help zone out the current war tank's current location, as well as has plenty of fire support with the artillery behind it. Moves command tank up there. There's a lot of battlecopters to get some power charge. We've got command anti-air now. He's not really concerned about it, it's just one there. He's a good damage there, 21 energy. Anti-tank or tank. Red's turn now. Anti-air. And right now, red still has a superior economy, very superior economy. Stays out of range to the artillery piece, which is good, but we've got tanks now coming down south. I would say next unit should be a bike, push forward the tanks, push for the infantry, and start trying to claim some properties. Right now, blue has a good amount of momentum, but can quickly drain the income disparity. Brig blocking the bridge. It has not a wild temper report. Well, I could have. Command artillery gets a good shot there. Artillery gets a good shot. Finish off the wounded battle copter. Maybe it would have been better to do with the 3 health one. You know, that'd be actually a bit of a luck roll. That is not. If red engages blue's tank, he will be retaliated upon with the artillery. Great strike there from the battlecopter on the war tank. We could see a CO power loaded medium tank that was loading the anti-air. Not a bad idea. There's a lot of aircraft here. Good strike there. Stays out of range of the indirects. That battlecopter's dead. Not paying attention to the missile once again. He did it to take out a 7 health copter. He also stayed out of range. Battlecopter for battlecopter. I suppose that's okay. Trying to break his way through. He has 16 energy at the moment. His opponent has 39. A large number of these battlecopters are quite wounded. I don't think he's going to squeeze out CO power though. So at least pulling them back for his next CO power wouldn't be half bad. Command tank gets, or artillery gets a good shot there. Anti-tank gets a good strike. 55 energies, but the CO unit has consumed his action, so won't be able to pop a superpower this turn. Great strike there. Making a breakthrough over here. A battlecopter down here wouldn't be half bad as well. It is going for a tank. I really think he should get some bikes. Good shots there. And red has resigned. Way too many units died to this missile. That's Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.